Good afternoon, students. Let's welcome to another session. My name is B. Revati, working as Biological Science KGBV PTM. Now I am going to revise syllabus 10th class 2020-21 batch. In this session, I am going to discuss about second lesson, respiration, the energy producing system. In previous lesson, we discussed about nutrition. Is there any relationship between nutrition and respiration? Yes. The answer we say yes. There is a relationship between nutrition and respiration. How all organisms consume food in the part of nutrition. That consumed food may enter into digestive system. That digestive food reaches to cell with the help of blood. Then it added with oxygen and energy liberation takes place. In this way, good link between nutrition and respiration. Do you understand? Next, what is respiration? Oxidation of food inside of the body for liberation of energy is called respiration. What is respiration? Oxidation of food inside of the body for liberation of energy is called respiration. Next, the word respiration is derived from Latin word respire, to means to breathe. Okay. Next topic is events or steps in respiration. What are the steps in respiration? First, breathing, gases exchange at lungs level, gas transport by blood, gases exchange at tissue level, cellular respiration. Next, one by one we discuss about these steps. First of all, breathing. Breathing, air movement into and out of the lungs. Next, gases exchange at lungs level. Exchange of gases between alveoli and blood. Next part is gas transport by blood. Transport of oxygen from blood capillaries of alveoli to body vessels and return to carbon dioxide. Next, another part is gases exchange at tissue level. Exchange of oxygen from blood into the cells and carbon dioxide from cells into the blood. Next step, cellular respiration. Using oxygen in cell process to produce carbon dioxide and water, releasing energy to be used for life process. Next, another topic is pathway of air. There are different parts involved in respiration. First one, nostrils. These are pathway of air steps. What are the parts involved in pathway of air? There are different parts involved in respiration. First one is nostril. These are nostrils. Pair of nostrils are present in human beings or some animals. In the opening respiratory system, through these nostrils, air enter into our body and exit from the body. Next part is nasal cavity. This is nasal cavity. Air get filtered by the help of tiny hair like nostrils. As the inhaled air passes through nasal cavity, its temperature is brought close to body temperature. Next part is pharynx. This is pharynx. Is the common passage for food and air. This is common passage for food and air. There is a muscle wall called epiglottis that can prevent entry of food into respiratory tract. Next part is larynx. This called voice box or stiff box. Which part is called voice box or stiff box? Larynx. Larynx is the voice box or stiff box. Next part is trachea. When we touch here we feel ring-like structures trachea contain. Next, C-shaped cartilages. C-shaped cartilages. Ring. This is a rings. C structure of rings. Next part, bronchus. From the trachea, two bronchioles develop. Next part is bronchioles. From each bronchiole, small branches may develop. These are called bronchioles. Next part is alveolus. Small chamber or room-like structure in lungs is called alveolus. What is alveolus? Small chamber or room-like structure in lungs is called alveolus. Main function of the alveolus is gases exchange. The main function of the alveolus is the gases exchange. It is very important. No? 1 mark or half mark. Which is exam point of view. Important bit. What is the main function of the alveolus? The alveolus is the gases exchange. In the alveolus, gases exchange. Next part is blood. Blood carries oxygen to each and every cell collects CO2. Okay. Once again we will repeat the pathway of air flow chart. First one is nostrils, then nostril cavity, next pharynx, larynx, trachea, bronchus, then bronchioles, then alveolus, then blood. Okay. Next, another topic is epiglottis and passage of air. Okay. Already we have discussed what is epiglottis. Okay. Where it is located. When we breathe in, air may enter into nasal cavity to the pharynx. There is a small problem in pharynx because it is common passage for food and air to our overcome this. There is a flap-like muscle wall called epiglottis. It acts as a lid on respiratory tract and it can prevent entry of food particles into the trachea. Okay, it is prevent trachea and respiratory system. Next, what is function of epiglottis and where it is located? It is a flap-like muscle structure which is present in a pharynx. It prevent entry of food in the windpipe. Okay. Next, another topic is mechanism of respiration in human beings. We know that breathing is the process of inhaling and exhaling. In this process, the organ involved are mainly the lungs. Which organ involved? Main the lungs. The lungs themselves can neither draw in air nor push it out. Instead, the chest wall muscles and another flexible flattened muscles called diaphragm helps the lungs in moving air into and out of them. When the diaphragm is relaxed, it is the shape of dome with the convex side of the dome extending into the chest cavity. When the diaphragm contracts, the flatten out a bit or a dome moves downwards. As a result, the volume of chest cavity increases. When the diaphragm flattens and the value of chest cavity is increased, its internal pressure decreases and the air from the outside rushes into the lungs. This is inspiration. And then the reverse occurs. The chest wall is lowered and moves inward, and the diaphragm relaxes and assumes its dome shape. These changes increase the pressure on the lungs. Their elastic tissue contracts and squeezes the air out through the nose to the external atmosphere. This is expiration. Next, do you know our lungs are spongy in nature? They are not of the same size. The lungs towards left are slightly smaller, making space for your heart. Lungs are protected by two membranous cell flora. Next, a fluid filled between these membranes protects the lungs from injury and also aid in the expansion of the spongy and elastic lung muscle as they side one over the other. Next, another topic is gases exchange, alveoli to capillaries. Gases exchange takes place within the lungs by diffusion, the alveoli to blood capillaries and vice versa. The carbon dioxide in the blood is exchanged for oxygen in the alveoli. These tiny air sacs in the lungs are numerous and only one cell thick. They are surrounded by capillaries that are also only one cell thick. Next, blood, dark red in color, flows from the heart through these capillaries and collects oxygen from the alveoli. At the same time, carbon dioxide passes out of the capillaries and into the alveoli. At the same time, carbon dioxide passes out of the capillaries and into the alveoli. When we breathe out, we get rid of this CO2. The bright red oxygen rich blood is returned to the heart and pumped out all parts of the body. Okay. Next, do you know what percent of oxygen present inhaled and exhaled air? Do you know? 21% of oxygen is presence in inhaled air, 16% of oxygen is in exhaled air. Okay. Do you know what percent of carbon dioxide in inhaled air presence in inhaled air and exhaled air? 0.04% of carbon dioxide present in inhaled air, 4% of carbon dioxide in exhaled air. Okay. Do you know what percent of nitrogen present in inhaled and exhaled air? 78 or 79% of nitrogen presence in inhaled air. At the same 78 or 79% of nitrogen in exhaled air. Okay. Next, another topic is transportation of gases. How to transport the gases? When we inhale air may enter into alveoli of lungs, the exchange of gases takes place between alveoli and blood capillaries. Finally, gases reach to the blood. Blood contains hemoglobin. That's why blood red in color. Okay, that may plays important role carrying different gases. It can combine with oxygen and CO2, sometimes carbon monoxide, and plays important role in exchange of gases. Okay, hemoglobin combine with oxygen from oxyhemoglobin into oxygen and hemoglobin into tissues. Finally, it sent oxygen into cells. In reverse, it carries CO2 to lungs. Okay. Next one, cellular respiration. The respiration with The respiration which takes place in cells is called cellular respiration. What is cellular respiration? The respiration which takes place in cells is called cellular respiration. Okay. It happens in aerobic respiration. Main organ involved in cellular respiration is called mitochondria. Okay. This mitochondria is called as powerhouse of the cell. Which is powerhouse of the cell? The mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell. It helps produce energy and store in the form of ATP. Okay. Which is called powerhouse of the cell? Mitochondria is powerhouse of the cell. And it is produce energy and stored in the form of ATP is also called energy currency. ATP is nothing but adenosine triphosphate. Okay, 1 ATP is equals to 7200 calories. Okay, 1 ATP is equals to 7200 calories. It is also important for off mark question. Next, which is known as energy currency? ATP. Okay, ATP is known as energy currency. It is also important off mark. How many calories is equal to 1 ATP? 7200 calories. Okay. Next, where and how cellular respiration in organisms? For this, as a part of glycolysis, glucose convert into pyruvic acid, which contain 3 carbon compounds. After glycolysis, if there sufficient oxygen is present, aerobic respiration, high amount of energy produced, carbon dioxide, water also produced as waste products. This happens, plants and animals are safe. Okay. What are the difference between aerobic and anaerobic respiration? Do you know? What are the difference between aerobic and anaerobic respiration? Now we will discuss about differences between aerobic and anaerobic respiration. Aerobic respiration, it takes place in the presence of oxygen. In the presence of oxygen is in aerobic respiration. And anaerobic respiration, it takes place in the absence of oxygen. Okay. In aerobic respiration, CO2 and water is produced. In anaerobic respiration, lactic acid or alcohol is produced. Okay. In aerobic respiration, 38 of molecules of energy is produced. In anaerobic respiration, 2 ATP molecules of energy is produced. In aerobic respiration, it occurs in plants and animals. In anaerobic respiration, it occurs in anaerobic bacteria and human muscles. Next, another topic is anaerobic respiration. We discuss about anaerobic respiration. The absence of oxygen, aerobic respiration is occurs. Let us find out by doing yeast experiment. Aim to understand anaerobic respiration. What is the aim of this experiment? To understand anaerobic respiration. Apparatus: thermos flask, yeast, glucose solution, thermometer, next 2-hole rubber corks, 2, next paraffin, next glass tubes, 2, lime water. Next procedure: take a glucose solution into the thermos flask. First, take a glucose solution into the thermos flask. Next, boil it for a minute while it removes dissolved oxygen from glucose solution. That's why we boil the glucose solution. then cooling it without shaking. Add some yeast to the glucose solution. Pour 1 centimeter layer of liquid paraffin on the glucose solution. Close thermos flask with 2 hole rubber corks. Next, arrange thermometer glass tubes wash bottle with the lime. Keep the arrangement undisturbed for 2 days. Okay. Next, observation. What we have observed? The lime water turns into milky white. Okay. CO2 is released from yeast during the respiration. Next, the temperature is slowly increased in the thermometer. Next, alcohol smell comes out from the flask. Next, inference. Through this experiment, we understood anaerobic respiration. Next, precautions. We do this experiment, we take some precautions. What are the precautions? The bulb of the thermometer should dip in the glucose solution. The bulb of the thermometer should dip in the glucose solution. Next, close the flask with the tight fitting cork. Okay. Anaerobic respiration. Okay. Already we have learned about respiration in human beings. Now we will discuss about respiration in plants. In plants, respiration happens with the help of stomata, lenticels and aerial roots. By using these stomatas, lenticels and aerial roots can receive oxygen and eliminate CO2. Okay. Which part of the plant plays vital role in gases exchange in plants? Stomata, lenticels and aerial roots. This is very important 1 mark or half mark question. Okay. Which part of the plant plays vital role in gas exchange in plants? Stomata, lenticel and aerial roots. Okay. Next, aeration of roots. Usually roots may grow towards to gravitational force. In mangroves, this is different because some roots appear out of the land for the exchange of gases for their survival. This type of roots are called aerial roots. Okay. Because of wet conditions, it cannot utilize either stomata or lenticels. So, it develops aerial roots for respiration. Okay. Are you understand? Okay. To know more about respiration in plants, we should perform the following activities. First, we will do the activity CO2 is liberated during respiration. In this activity, first we will discuss about aim, operators, procedure, observation, inference. Okay. First, aim. To prove that CO2 is liberated during respiration. What is the aim of this experiment? To prove that CO2 is liberated during respiration. Next, operators. Germinated seeds, wide-mouthed glass bottle, small beaker, lime water. What are the operators? Germinated seeds, wide-mouthed glass bottle, small beaker, lime water. Next, procedure. Take a wide-mouthed glass bottle with germinating seeds. Keep a small beaker with lime water into the bottle. Close the bottle tightly with rubber cork. Keep the bottle undisturbed for 2 days. Okay. Repeat the procedure. Take a wide-mouthed glass bottle with germinating seeds. Keep a small beaker with lime water into the bottle. Close the bottle tightly with rubber cork. Next, keep the bottle undisturbed for 2 days. Next, observe this. experiment, the color of the lime water turns into milky white. Okay, but next, inference. This experiment proves that CO2 is liberated during respiration. Next, then precautions. What precautions do this experiment? Close the bottle with tight fitting cork. First, close the bottle with tight fitting cork by grease. Close the bottle without entering air. Okay. Next, another activity or experiment is heat is liberated during respiration. First, for aim, to prove that heat is liberated during respiration. Next, operators, thermometer, germinating seeds, thermos flask, 1 hold rubber cork. What are the operators? Do this experiment. Thermometer, germinated seeds, thermos flask, 1 hold rubber cork. Next, procedure. Take some germinated seeds in the thermos flask. Close the thermos flask with 1 hold rubber cork. Insert a thermometer into the thermos flask and as shown in the diagram. Record the starting and forever 2 hours. Next, repeat the procedure. Take some germinated seeds in the thermos flask. First, we'll take some germinated seeds in thermos flask. Close the thermos flask with 1 hold rubber cork. Next, insert the thermometer into the thermos flask as shown in the diagram. Record the starting and for ever 2 hours. Next, observation. The temperature slowly increase in the thermometer. Heat is liberating during germinating seeds during respiration. Next, inference. The experiment proves that heat is liberated during respiration. What is the inference? The experiment proves that heat is liberated during respiration. Next, precautions. What are the precautions? Close the flask with tight fitting cork. The bulb in the thermometer should dip in the germinating seeds. Next, another topic is photosynthesis versus respiration. What are the difference between photosynthesis and respiration? Photosynthesis, it can anabolic process. Respiration is a catabolic process. Photosynthesis is a anabolic process, so respiration is a catabolic process. Next, in photosynthesis, CO2, water, chlorophyll and light are raw materials. In respiration, carbohydrates like glucose is raw material and also what is required. Next, it takes place which photosynthesis. Photosynthesis takes place in a daytime only, but respiration takes place day and night. In photosynthesis, only carbohydrate containing cells particles participate in photosynthesis. In respiration, every living cell participate in respiration. In photosynthesis, O2, ATP, food materials are end products. In respiration, H2O, CO2 and energy in form of ATP are end products. Photosynthesis occurs in chloroplast. Respiration occurs in mitochondria and cytoplasm. Next, the the day weight of the plant increase due to synthesis of food materials. And respiration, the day weight of the plant decrease due to utilization of food materials. Okay. What are the difference between photosynthesis and respiration. It is an anaerobic process which is photosynthesis. Respiration is catabolic process. In photosynthesis, CO2, water, chlorophyll and light is raw material. In respiration, carbohydrates like glucose is raw material. Next, in photosynthesis, it takes place in daytime. Respiration takes place day and night. Photosynthesis only chlorophyll containing cell participate in photosynthesis. Respiration, every living cell participate in respiration. In photosynthesis, O2, ATP, food materials are end products. Respiration, in respiration H2O, CO2 and energy in the form of ATP or end products. Photosynthesis occurs in chloroplast. Respiration occurs in mitochondria and cytoplasm. In photosynthesis, the day weight of the plant increase due to synthesis of food material, and respiration, the day weight of the plant decrease due to utilization of food materials. I will repeat some important points in this lesson. The term respiration comes from a Latin word respire, meaning to breathe. The word respiration is derived from Latin word the respire. It means breathe. Respiration is the process by which food is broken down for the release of energy. Respiration is the process by which food is broken down for the release of energy. Air usually enters the body through the nostrils. The air usually enters the body through the nostrils. The most surface of the living of nostril cavity and the hairs growing from this its sides remove some of the teeny particles of dirt in the air. Warming and moisturizing goes on in the pharynx, which is a common process of digestion and respiratory system. Larynx contains vocal cord. Larynx contains vocal cord. Windpipe or trachea channels air to lungs. Windpipe or trachea channels air to lungs. At its lower end, the trachea or the windpipe divides into two branchiae, one leading to either lung. The bronchio further divided into smaller and smaller branches called bronchioles. Bronchioles finally terminate in clusters of air sacs called alveolus in the lungs, which is very small and numerous. Alveolus is very small and numerous. Gases exchange takes place in alveoli as blood capillaries take up oxygen and expel carbon dioxide air. Blood carries oxygen to each and every cell of the body. The whole passage from nostrils to alveolus is moist and warm. If all alveoli of our lungs are spread out, they will cover an area of nearly 160 meters square. The epiglottis is the movable flap-like structure that protects the tube to the lungs, arresting entry of food into lungs. The epiglottis opens more widely when we take a breath and air enters the lungs. Nervous regulation is important in guiding the function of epiglottis and passage of air. A flexible flattened muscle called diaphragm. Next, diaphragm. The diaphragm is flexible flattened muscle. Helps the lungs in taking air into the spending out of them. The chest wall is made up of the ribs, muscles and the skin. The chest wall is made up of the ribs, muscles and skin.
Sir.
The chest wall is made up of the ribs, muscles and the skin. Our lungs are sponge and elastic in nature. Our lungs are sponge and elastic in nature. Lungs are protected by two membranes called pleura. Lungs are protected by two membranes called pleura. Gases exchange takes place within the lungs by diffusion from the alveoli to blood capillaries and vice versa. Gases exchange takes place within the lungs by diffusion from the alveoli to blood capillaries and vice versa. The total lung capacity of human being is nearly 55,800 ml. The molecules present in hemoglobin is iron. As oxygen is diffused in the blood, it rapidly combines with the hemoglobin to form oxyhemoglobin. At a height of 13 kilometers above the sea level, the concentration of oxygen is much lower, about 1/5 as great as the sea level. The term cellular respiration refers to the pathway by which cells release energy from the chemical bonds of food molecules that enters them and provide the energy for the essential process of life. All living cells must carry out cellular respiration. All living cells must carry out cellular respiration. Respiration in the presence of oxygen is termed as aerobic respiration, and respiration in absence of oxygen is termed as anaerobic respiration. This is also fermentation. Next, cellular respiration in prokaryotic cells like that of bacteria occurs within the cytoplasm. Next, in eukaryotic cells, cytoplasm and mitochondria is the site of the cellular respiration. The energy currency of the cell is ATP. Which is the energy currency of the cell? ATP. That is capable of carrying energy wherever needed within the cell. Each ATP molecule gives 7,200 calories of energy. Each ATP molecule gives 7,200 calories of energy. This energy is stored in the form of phosphate bonds. If the bond is broken, the stored energy is released. Glucose is the most commonly used sugar for deriving energy in plants, animals, in mitochondria. In the first stage, glucose is converted into two molecules of pyruvic acid. In the second stage of oxygen is available, pyruvic and oxidized to CO2 and water, large amount of energy is released. If oxygen is inadequate or not available, pyruvic acid is converted into either ethanol or lactic acid and very little amount of energy is released. When we understand formation of ethanol by microorganisms due to anaerobic respiration. Living and most important keywords in this lesson and these meanings. Aerobic respiration. Respiration in the presence of oxygen. What is aerobic respiration? Respiration in the presence of oxygen. Anaerobic respiration. Respiration in the absence of oxygen. Anaerobic respiration. respiration in the absence of oxygen. Alveolus, tiny sacs where gases exchange takes place in lungs. Alveolus, tiny sacs where gases exchange takes place in lungs. Trachea, windpipe. Bronchi, trachea divides into two branchies, goes into two lungs. Bronchi, trachea divides into two branchies, goes into two lungs. Bronchioles, smaller branches of bronchi. Epiglottis, flap-like structure which shows right path to food and air. Epiglottis, flap-like structure which shows right path to food and air. Pyruvate, end product of first stage of glucose breakdown. Next, anabolic, synthetic process. Next, catabolic breakdown process. Catabolic breakdown process. Okay, these are important points in this. All do you know in this lesson? The interior of lungs is divided into millions of small chambers, thus tremendously increasing the moist surface available for transfer of gases between air and blood. The linings of the lungs are much folded and so their total surface is enormous. If alveoli of our lungs are spread, they will cover an area of nearly 160 meters square. Next, our lungs are spongy and elastic in nature. Our lungs are spongy and elastic in nature. They are not of the same size. The lungs towards left is slightly smaller, making space for our heart. Lungs are protected by two membranes called pleura. A fluid filled between these membranes that protects the lungs from injury and also aid in the expansion of the spongy and elastic lung muscle as they slide one over the other. The total lung capacity of human beings is nearly 58,000 ml. Normally at rest, we inhale or exhale approximately 500 ml of air. Normally at rest, we inhale or exhale approximately 500 ml of air. 1200 ml of air remain in lungs. 1200 ml of air remains in lungs. After complete the exhalation, recall the activity of lungs capacity performed by you in class 7th in the chapter respiration in organisms. If hemoglobin is exposed to air at sea level, nearly every molecule combines with oxygen to form oxyhemoglobin. At a height of 13 kilometers, about 8 miles above sea level, the concentration of oxygen is much lower, about 1/5 as great as at sea level. Under these conditions, only about half as many molecules of oxygen combine with hemoglobin to form oxyhemoglobin. This is important because blood cannot carry enough oxygen to the tissues of hemoglobin is combined with a few oxygen molecules. In fact, human life is impossible at such an altitude without a supplementary supply of oxygen. Provision for such a supplementary supply is built into modern aircraft, which have pressured combines that maintain as an enriched air supply. When we go down, we will face another type of problem. Next, glucose is the most commonly used sugar for deriving energy in plants. Glucose is the most commonly used sugar for dividing energy in plants, animals and in microorganisms. In all these organisms, glucose is oxidized in two stages. In the first stage it is converted into two molecules of pyruvic acid. In the second stage, if oxygen is available, pyruvic acid oxidized to CO2 and water, large amount of energy is released. If oxygen is inadequate or not available, pyruvic acid is converted into either ethanol or lactic acid and very little amount of energy, nearly 1/10 that produced in adequate amount of oxygen is released. Okay. Next. Okay. The photosynthesis versus respiration. What are the difference between photosynthesis and respiration? Photosynthesis, it can anabolic process. Respiration, it is a catabolic process. In the photosynthesis, CO2, water, chlorophyll and light are raw materials. Carbon dioxide like glucose is raw material of O2 are required. It takes place in daytime only. Respiration takes place day and night. Photosynthesis only chlorophyll containing cells participate in photosynthesis. Every living cell participates in respiration. O2, ATP, food materials are end products in photosynthesis. H2O, CO2 and energy in the form of ATP are end products in respiration. Next, in photosynthesis occurs in chloroplast. In respiration occurs in mitochondria and cytoplasm. In photosynthesis, the day weight of the plant increase due to synthesis of food material. In respiration, the day weight of the plant decreases due to utilization of food materials. Okay, these are difference between photosynthesis and respiration. It is very important for 4 marks. Next, last session assignment. What is epiglottis? What is epiglottis? All of you note down, ma. First question is, what is epiglottis? Next, second one, explain the mechanism of gases exchange at branchiole level. Explain the mechanism of gases exchange at branchiole level. Next question, draw the diagram of mitochondria. Draw the diagram of mitochondria. Okay. Next, fourth one, explain cellular respiration. Explain cellular respiration. Next, fifth one, what procedure you follow to understand an anaerobic respiration in your school library? What procedure you follow to understand anaerobic respiration in your school library? Next one, explain an activity to prove that heat is evolved during respiration. Explain an activity to prove that heat is evolved during respiration. Okay. Next one, what are the difference between aerobic and anaerobic respiration? What are the difference between aerobic and anaerobic respiration?